Today we're going to be reviewing a new Kickstarter, The Adventurers Curated Dice Collection by Level Up Dice and Paizo, the creators of Pathfinder. They have a pretty rad new system for purchasing these dice, which is more what the Kickstarter's about than it is the dice themselves. Before we begin the review, I think it's important that you know that I have no financial ties to this Kickstarter. I was just sent some cool dice. However, I'm very good friends with the people over at Level Up Dice and even run a D&D stream with them, so if you think that makes me biased, please take that into account. For my review, I was sent over a box of 9 curated dice, specifically for a character I designed in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I was sent over 2 D20s, a red and a blue set, as well as 2 D10s, 2 D6s, and then I was also sent 3 D4s. All of them have different symbols on them, different designs, and you might be asking yourself, well, where the heck are your D12s or your D8s? And that's kind of the whole point of this Kickstarter. Normally, in a set of dice, you get a set of 7 going from a D4 up to a D20, but you might not need all of those different dice. So the idea for this is that you pick which dice you need based upon your character, and you don't have to spend unnecessary money buying high quality dice like these. I think these are made out of aircraft grade aluminum, which I guess is really great if you're going to try and turn your dice into something you want to fly with, but it's really cool and it costs a lot. So instead of buying all 7, maybe you just need one single die for your character. Well, you can buy that and it's custom depending on what you need it for and whatever color you want. For example, my champion character, Carrick Lane, doesn't need a D8 or a D12 for anything that character can do, so I save money by not having to buy those. I was given a lot of extra dice for every individual thing, like the different D4s and the different D6s, so for Carrick I wouldn't actually need multiple of those dice, but they gave them to me just so that I could show off all the different art styles and all of the different things that the champion could do. That's why I have a D6 that has holy symbols on it and one that has fire for the different types of damage that my character can do. In addition to the D6s, I also have 2 D10s that have swords on them because my character has 2 swords, one with a sapphire hilt and one with a ruby hilt. And then I have 2 general purpose D20s and 3 D4s for some of the magic that I do. Okay, so you get how the Kickstarter works and why it's a bit different than a normal dice setup Kickstarter. And if you check out the page, they have one section that shows all the different dice art combos, as well as whenever you refresh it, it shows different colors for each of these. I think if you meet the stretch goal, there's like 8,000 different possible color combos with each of the different dice that exists. And one of them is gold, so that's the main reason I want this Kickstarter to be successful, is because then I can actually order some gold dice. So cool. This is a new and interesting way to buy things, and if you're interested in doing that instead of a whole set, maybe this is for you. But none of that matters if the dice aren't up to par, so let's take a look at the quality of these dice. They are solid anodized aluminum, which means they are pretty much going to be as balance can get, and the etching ensures that that stays that way. There's no holes from making the numbers in the dice, so they really are going to be very, very balanced. They feel nice and weighty in the hand, and the etching itself is really, really pretty. Some of it is very, very tiny, so I'm impressed at the level of detail they're able to keep at that small of a size. Even the small details are a little bit different on very similar dice, like this Champion D20 here looks different than the Champion Hero D20, which has a crown on the top of it. I think they sound great when they roll, whether it's on soft plastic, resin, or leather. They sound very good, but one problem I do have is with the D4s. Whatever machine they use to etch these dice seems to be a little bit off-center on these D4s. It causes some of the numbers to actually go around the corners. It's most noticeable with the 1 and the 2, but you can also see it on the 3 every now and again. This should be pretty easily fixable, so I imagine in the final products they will be, especially with reviews like this that show that off. And again, I have an early Kickstarter set, so hopefully it will be fixed, but if not, it is an error. And as for durability, I always try and scratch the dice with the same set that they come with to see if you can notice any scratches on the dice, and this one actually did have some issues as far as the etching is concerned. Whenever I tried to scratch this D10 with a rounded edge on that etching, some of the white went away and you could see some of the aluminum underneath. And when I was doing that scratching, the tip of the red D10 actually came off as well, and so you can see a little bit of the aluminum underneath that red color. I don't think that's a big deal, as I had to really try to get that to scratch, but if you're somebody who baseball yeets their dice at the table, this may be important to you. I actually told them about this problem and they said there is a cool solution because of how aluminum works and how their laser etching process is. If you do scratch a surface of this up, you can actually take an eraser and it will kind of fix it. It's not 100% back to normal, but it's white instead of gray now. Still has a little bit of a shiny sheen to it, but hey, it is a fix for a problem that you probably won't ever run into. The colored tip though, that really can't be fixed. All in all, I like what they're doing here with this new setup. I think it's a great way for people to get into high-end dice without having to buy a whole set if they don't need or want one. The dice look great, they feel great, they sound great, they can go with your Paizo character. I just think they need to address that D4 issue and then they're good to go. Thank you to Level Up Dice and Paizo for sending me these dice early to review. If you have any other Kickstarters like this you might want me to take a look at or other dice sets, let me know and I'll try and reach out to them. Subscribe if you might want to see some more videos like this in the future. Like it if you liked it, dislike it if you dislike the video, or if you want to learn how to make your own dice from scratch, I do that on this channel as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a fantastic day.